Okay, hey everybody, this is Carl Sheffield. I'm a product manager here at Skuid, and in this video, I'm going to give an introduction to merge fields. So let's get started. We're going to start over in Skuid Central, and I'm just going to go ahead and create a new page, and I'm going to give that page a name of. Ooh, look at that! Let me go with start my page. I'm going to give this page a name, contact list for merge. I'll take all the defaults that we have and I'll click create page. Okay, from here, I'm going to add a model. We're going to add a model from the models tab of the elements component, and I'll click plus here. I'm going to give my model ID a descriptive name, contact list 01. Okay, and I'm going to use the contact object from Salesforce, and I'll click save real quick here. And then I'm going to take the defaults for all of the properties on the contact, and I'll go to fields here, and then I'll select a few fields. I'm going to select the account ID field. I'm going to go find the first name and the last name, and let's see, what else do I want? I want the mailing city, let's say city, mailing state, street, mailing postal code, and then I'm going to look for salutation title. That should be enough for us. I'm going to click save here. The next thing I want to do is create a condition on my contact list 01 model. So I'm going to click conditions and then click the add button here. And my condition is going to be on the mailing state field. So I'm going to use the field picker and go find the mailing state. Now what I want is any fields that do not have a blank value. So I've set my operator to is not. And then I'm going to go find the value field. I'm going to set to blank here, non-blank. So the condition reads, mailing state is not null. That's what we want there. That's going to be great. So I'm going to click save, and we are at a good place to add a table component to our page. So I'm going to click components here, and then I'm going to click table. I'm going to drag this table component down into the canvas. And I'll click save, and I'll take a moment now to just talk a little bit about merge fields. So merge syntax is helpful. It's a helpful way to display data from a Skuid model. It can be really flexible. It can be used to display data and also used in the actions framework. Let's see, merge syntax is used so much that you've probably seen it before if you've built a few pages already, or if you've seen other pages and just explored what is going on in a Skuid page. It's useful in templates. So template fields can be, there's a template component, and then other components can have templates as well. So in our table here, we are going to use the template inside a table. So let's get started. We're going to add 3 template fields. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to click add fields, and then I'm going to choose template here. Now, from here, I can take my mouse and put it on the template field that was added so that it gets focus. Now that the template field is in focus, we're going to change the label. I'm going to call this fancy contact name. Then I'm going to move to my template property, and I'm going to add a few fields to that template property. Let's see, the first one I'm going to do is go find salutation, and then I'm going to find first name and last name, and I'll finish up with title. Once I have those fields selected, I'll click apply, and that adds those fields, the merge fields. See how they're enclosed with curly brackets? That's a merge field. So let's take this a little bit further. I'm going to click this button here to open a pop-up, the Edit Inline Code pop-up. And I'm going to format this template field a little bit more. First thing I'm going to do is add a space between salutation and first name, and then another space between first name and last name. And over between last name and title, instead of a space, I'm going to give a hard return. So it should look like this now. Now I can close my Edit Inline Code, and those changes are reflected in this little window here. Take a look at the Allow HTML property. It's something that adds a little bit more flexibility to a template field. Let's see how that works. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to edit inline code again, and I'll add a little bit of HTML formatting. I'm going to use the strong tag to make the stuff in between the tags bold. So I'll close my strong tag at the end of last name, and then I'll close the window and save. Now let's see what changes occurred in the page. Now we can see there are 3 lines because we filtered our model, and these the template field that we have here is formatted. I've got it bold here, and then I've got the title, and then the salutation is there. So that's pretty good. Let's go back to the composer, and we'll add another template field. And what we want to do with that template field is have an address block. So back in the composer, I'm going to click on the table component to give it focus. And then I'm going to click the add button, add fields button, and template again. Then I'll click on this template, and we will change the properties of this template. I'm trying to click on it. There it goes. I've got that property there. So now I'll call this one mailing address. Now, from there, I'll click the field picker, and I'll go find the mailing street, the mailing city and state, and then finish up with zip code. So I'll click apply here, and see our changes are added into this little field. I want a little bit more room, so I'll click on the edit inline code window. It's really helpful. I am going to add a hard return after a street, and then I'll add a comma and a space between city and state, and then I'll finish up with a hard return, making a 3rd line. From here, I'll click close and save, and let's preview this template field. Now we can see that template field is set here to show 3 lines, and it will give us our comma and our state here too. All right, let's finish up this introduction to merge fields by looking at the difference between 2 curly brackets and 3 curly brackets. So we're going to add another template field, and I'll click add fields and then template here. Now the new field is added. We'll click on that field here, and we're going to name this field 2 brackets versus 3 brackets. And the template, the field picker we want to use is, we're just going to pick this account ID field. Notice that the account ID in this model is a reference. That comes with its own formatting. A reference field in Skuid helps to format objects that have a common field between them. In this case, the contact object has a relationship with the account object, and the account ID field is going to display, when it's formatted, it will display the account name, but you know, the account name is not the ID. But let's see how that works here. I'm going to click apply. We only have 1 field here. I'm going to open the inline edit code window, And then I'm going to type in front of this account ID line, I'm going to type formatted and a colon and a space. So that's our first line. So from here, I'm going to copy that line and do a hard return and paste it. And then I'm going to name the second line unformatted. So unformatted and then a space. And then we've got our merge field. But I want to add another set of brackets around the account ID field here. So the first line has two brackets that enclose the merge field. And the second line has 3 brackets that include the merge field. I'm going to save our page, and then let's do a preview and see the difference. This is our finished page, and we can see in the 2 versus 1 merge template column, we can see that the first line that had the 2 is formatted for a reference field, but the second line strips all formatting and just shows the raw ID value for that account ID. This is really powerful. There are places that you'll be able to use merge fields in Skuid, not only to visualize data, but also to work in the actions framework. It's going to be something that's going to make Skuid pages really dynamic and really come alive. So this is what we've done. We've looked at 3 different ways to use merge fields in a template, and we've also looked at the difference between using 2 curly brackets versus 3 curly brackets. That's it for this video. Look forward to seeing you guys in another video soon. Thanks a lot.